Welcome to the James Madison region in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It is the first ever James Madison region, 12th year of the basketball tournament. First game of the day is Shell Shock, the Maryland Terrapins, opposite the Red Rose Thunder, a Philadelphia-based squad. Eric Dewick, Joey Lane. Joey, excuse me, only alumni team left in the region here. Curious to see what we see from Shell Shock today and what should be an interesting battle at the guard position. Yeah, clearly the most talented roster on paper left here in the region, the Shell Shock Merit alumni team. But they're going to have their hands full going up against Red Rose Thunder with one of the most impressive performances of the first day of the TBT. And it all starts with Mo Watson, number 10 in red, the head of the snake for the Red Rose Thunder. On the flip side, Daryl Morcell, 4 turnovers in the last game, playing the de facto point guard role for the team in white this afternoon. It's going to need to come down to him and taking better care of the basketball if this Maryland alumni team is going to want to survive and advance towards that $1 million prize. And we like to take a look at the basketball tournament rules. Uniquely, Joey, the Elam ending. First stoppage at or under 4 minutes. You add 8 points to the leading team score. The most exciting finish in all of sports, unique to TBT, adopted in leagues around the world. You add that 8 points to the leading team score in the fourth quarter, and then you play on to that target score. We'll talk way more about that later on. We're just excited for some awesome, awesome summer basketball here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Diamond Stone ready to tip it off opposite Marcus Kennedy of the Red Rose Thunder. Tony Dawkins, Garrett Jones, Kendall Ridley, the officials. Shell Shock of Maryland in the white, Red Rose Thunder in the red. Round 2 of the basketball tournament, year 12, winner take all, $1 million. Red Rose Thunder coming off a win against Magic Show in the first round, while Shell Shock of UMD beat Love Virginia. Henderson open alone, nails it. Already a better start for the Red Rose Thunder in what was really, according to their GM and staff, an ugly first half for them, and they felt very fortunate to be leading that game at halftime. Hopeful to get off to a quicker start this afternoon. And a quick look for Diamond Stone, the former McDonald's All-American. Diamond Stone, the 7-footer, known for banging down low, but he was practicing that pick and pop 3 the entirety of warm-ups, and even ended before he went back to the locker room making one of those. I expect more of the same early and often for number 43 in white. The former 40th overall pick who did not attempt a single 3 in his time at Maryland, and he's got a quick 5 and a chest bump to boot. Right in front of us yelling, "That's too easy." It sure is. He has the height advantage over Marcus Kennedy as well as the length advantage. Look at that matchup all afternoon long. Kennedy with a turnaround. And Joey, an engaged Diamond Stone is a dangerous Diamond Stone. And that's the key. We saw it in, only 19 minutes played in that first round game, and those 19 minutes were half impactful, half not, and it all was determined on how locked in to the game he was. Henderson can't hit a second 3. It's batted around. Shell Shock basketball. Their second year in the basketball tournament after a second round loss in 2023. This guy, Daryl Morcell, one of the key players on that 23 team. Former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Shows it on the other end. I mentioned it last game. What's been most impressive about him so far is the clear acceleration in his offensive game from his time at Maryland and Marquette to now as he's become a great professional basketball player. Smith short on the flip shot. Morcell, who played his grad year at Marquette, finds Tark for the lay. And I mentioned Red Rose Thunder wanting to start fast. The same was true for Shell Shock, and what their general manager told us is they couldn't have played much worse and came out with that W. They wanted to start fast as well, exemplified in this quick start to the first quarter. Henderson probes, finds Brown, who bangs a 3. big-time shot from Christian Brown, who had 8 points in their first-round win. Red Rose Thunder has plenty of guys out there that can stretch the floor and shoot it from three. They're going to need a lot of threes tonight with how shell-shocked has started this game.
Ronald March, he was the hero Friday. Green with a spin around, swishes.
And this Maryland Alumni team is firing on all cylinders right now. The fourth different guy to score already for the team in white.
And a foul called. Joey Lane, former Ohio State captain. I'm Eric Duick. It's year 12 of the basketball tournament. First time ever from the James Madison region. And the hosts, Founding Fathers, knocked out on Friday.
A really great atmosphere Friday night for James Madison Alumni team, and an awesome moment throughout the game for that team coming back home. However, they weren't able to do it on the court, and really we'll see the team in the second game, formerly Big Five, now Next Era, maybe the most impressive team all Friday for us.
The #1 seed Happy Valley Hoopers, a reigning quarterfinalist, fell on Friday. Here's LG Gill off the bench. Ronald March. March hit the winning free throw Friday in the Elam ending. Every game ends on a make. Marcus Kennedy with the board there. Second in rebounds, minimum 3 games played last year as Red Rose Thunder lost in the region final. Morcell, knocked down.
I'll say it again, very impressed with Daryl Morcell as he's gone from this defensive specialist in college, which many of you at home, Maryland fans, saw much of him. He's turned into a great offensive player as he has began his professional career.
To that note, a guy who shot 12% from 3 as a freshman developed into a 35% three-point shooter.
And has only gotten better since then.
Stone can't hit. Watson accelerates, can't finish. Kennedy, back at you.
And those two, Mo Watson, who missed the layup, Marcus Kennedy, who got that O board and put back, two most important people by far on this Red Rose Thunder team. And this quick start for Maryland, need a little punch back from number 5 and number 10 in red, and that's not going to help.
Count it, plus the foul for Diamond Stone. And he's showing off early.
An engaged Diamond Stone is a dangerous Diamond Stone, a man that I played a few times back in my time at Ohio State. One of the best freshmen, one and done, to come out of Maryland, showing why he was an NBA draft pick and McDonald's All-American in college.
By played, you mean admired him from the bench, Joey?
That's exactly right.
Hey, former Ohio State captain Joey Lane here. Diamond Stone, he was a big one in the Big Ten. His first ever Big Ten game against Penn State at the Xfinity Center, all he did was score an arena record 39 points. Added 12 rebounds his 1 year at Maryland. Bikes connects.
Dwight Bikes, fresh into the game, was really running the show down the stretch for Red Rose Thunder, and that calming veteran presence that he brings to this team. Such a welcome addition for this Red Rose Thunder team.
Ronald March passes to nobody in particular, and we're at the first timeout. Shell Shock 17, Red Rose Thunder 10. Second round, $1 million winner take all the basketball tournament. Eric Dewick, Joey Lane, James Madison region. Joey, you cannot overstate the significance of this hot start for Shell Shock, especially without the man pictured, Eric Ayala, a key guard on this roster who averaged 15 a game his last 2 seasons for the Terps.
Yeah, absolutely, and you alluded to it. This Maryland team really running without a true point guard, and Darryl Morcell taking over most of the responsibilities. Tons of turnovers last game for Maryland Alumni team, and now just one to start this game. And Eric Ayala working his way back from an injury, trying to rehab out here in Harrisonburg, and is hopeful to play in that next game.
Dwight Bikes, a former TBT champ, Sledge with a quick 3 off the bench. You don't get a season of build-up before TBT, so a lot of Maryland fans have been clamoring, where are these guys that were advertised? But he's here. He wants to go, and he's battling a knee injury. They're hoping he can join if he's healthy down the road. And Mo Watson with a big bucket right out of the timeout.
And Mo Watson, as we've mentioned, so important to this team, and he looks to get his teammates involved early. He led the country his senior year at Creighton in both assists per game and total assists, but he knows when it's time to turn on the Jets and get stuff for himself and eat himself, and it's coming earlier than usual in this game.
The reason we highlighted that guard play is you've got a big-time guard on the other side.
Absolutely, and a true point guard, and just a bona fide superstar point guard in Mo Watson, and who took over the game at times in their first round matchup. Just a huge difference in the way that they are playing Red Rose Thunder because of their point guard, whereas the Maryland Alumni team, as we've noted, missing Melo Trimble and Eric Ayala, who would have been handling the ball for really 100% of the game, but aren't able to because of their injuries.
2 early fouls on Ronald March as he misses left. Watson. Dwight Bikes won it with the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Step back 3. Strong rebound for Jeff Allen off the bench. Former Virginia Tech Hokie. Morcell thought about it. He bulldozes in and draws a foul. Flexes a bit too.
What a contrast in opening starts to the game for Darryl Morcell. So always so calm, cool, and collected despite playing so incredibly hard. Game number 1, he was hampered with foul trouble. Wasn't even really able to get shots up before he was sat down for the majority of the first quarter with that foul trouble. Now early on, looking to get his 6th and 7th points of the game. And we haven't even finished the first quarter.
He and his TBT coach, Juan Dixon, 2 of the 4 Maryland guys that have played 100+ games out of Baltimore.
And Darryl Morcell, such a huge fan favorite. When he left and transferred to Marquette, a lot of Maryland fans were a bit confused for that 5th year. But sometimes it takes a change of pace to really get the best out of yourself, and that 5th season for Marquette, as a lot of Maryland fans were still rooting him on, was his best undoubtedly as a collegiate player.
He was about a 9.5 point per game guy, upped his average to 13 at Marquette. He said it really was just to showcase his offensive abilities as Sledge connects on a 3 from deep.
And if there ever was a Shaka Smart player to come out of any school, it is Darryl Morcell, a guy that creates havoc on defense and so much improved on offense as well.
Trap at midcourt and a foul call. Sledge says, I had the ball.
Talk about creating havoc there, Eric, trapping that first pass over half court. Clearly, Red Rose Thunder did a great job scouting. Shell-shocked as turnovers were a big, big issue for the Maryland Alumni team last game. Now, early on, not so much, doing a great job of taking care of the rock.
Morcell, elbow jumper. Joey, this is much prettier basketball than we saw on Friday.
Yeah, and we alluded to it. TBT, the greatest summer basketball tournament that's ever existed, is going to have a little bit of a slow start because these teams have not played together for more than a couple weeks and maybe a game or two. That slow start non-existent here as Maryland gets a great layup out of the underneath out of bounds play.
Bikes. Backs down on Cardacci, in for the first time. Sledge a quick release, swishes.
What a great shot by Tavares Sledge, number 8 in red.
And back to Red Rose Thunder.
That was one of the most interesting things I've seen, where that Maryland player, Andre Fox, just caught the ball out of bounds on purpose and walked out of bounds. But I digress. This Maryland team playing a lot better to start, but needs to take care of the basketball to continue that.
Cardacci. Green off the hesitation. Got it.
And what's very true with this shell shock team, and even in their first round game, when they got shots, they played phenomenally. It was just a matter of taking care of the basketball to get those open looks, as Mo Watson gets a great open look himself on one end. Both teams really firing on all cylinders on offense right now.
That's deep from Green, too deep.
A little bit of a heat check there, having a couple threes early on for number 23 in white. Red Rose Thunder now can hold for the last shot here. Look for a high pick and roll with Mo Watson controlling the pace at the top of the key.
Here it is, Joey. Very high pick and roll. Now they reset it.
A little too early. They want to go inside of 10 seconds is my guess.
Andre Fox defends it. There's the screen. Watson passes underneath. Too much traffic. Cardacci with 3 from 35. Got it! Picking up where he left off. Started for a year under Juan Dixon at Coppin State. Now helping Dixon and the Maryland alums in the $1 million, the basketball tournament. Start of the second quarter, 12th annual of the basketball tournament. First time from the James Madison region. The hosts fell on Friday to Next Era Elite who we'll see in our next game against the Raleigh 919 Legends. Shell Shock Red Rose Thunder. Joey, this is clearly the second game for both teams based on the much improved performance.
Without a doubt, a chance to, spend some time in practice yesterday or this morning before the game and able to watch some film and, realize, hey, we're watching on TV. We need to settle down, and we're better basketball players than we're showing. Doing a great job early on as both teams shooting between 44 and 55% from the field. A phenomenal offensive start that has Maryland in the lead by 8.
Andre Fox puts that in off the glass. Bikes. Hesitates and misses. Stone rebounds. Shell Shock in white. The Maryland Alumni. Stone, from where he started the game, same result.
Diamond Stone, big number 43 in white, lives for the top of the key 3, and that ball was nothing but nylon again.
Former McDonald's All-American and ESPN number 6 recruit. Sledge, that's tough. Good patience. And how about your guy Cardacey hitting that 35-footer to end the quarter?
The dude was born to shoot a basketball, and not only that, but rarely even hits the rim as he draws a foul there. You can't be a great shooter and a great defender. That's just not how it works all the time. But Kyle Cardacey, such a welcome surprise in that first round game. He'd be the first to tell you wasn't expecting, 10 plus minutes in that contest, but really was such a huge spark plug, especially on the offensive end of the court in, being such a huge contributor.
If he wasn't expecting 10 minutes, he definitely wasn't expecting 12 points and 9 in the second half. Kennedy plows and draws the foul.
Marcus Kennedy doing a great job of showing the ball and going right into Diamond Stone's body and arms. And, while Diamond Stone is complaining that his arms were up, their arms were out, still contact made a la James Harden, where Marcus Kennedy really selling that foul to get himself 2 free throws.
Kennedy's 5th the basketball tournament, 2nd year with Red Rose Thunder. Him and Maurice Watson are the captains.
And it's really those two that are the dynamic duo for Red Rose Thunder, and everything offensively starts with either number 5 or number 10 in red. Marcus Kennedy doing a great job of bringing the team home to victory in the first game, while Mo Watson really started it off and got them going early in that second half.
Cardacey, nice cut, and he draws a foul.
And a great find by Diamond Stone, but all great shooters like Kyle Cardacey knows that there's not a lot of helping that their defender's doing. And in fact, when you're shooting it as well as he has, only missed 1 3 in 2 games at this point, he's being almost face guarded, and a great back cut to get open there for the layup to send him to the free throw line, where, stay with me here, Eric, he has not missed one so far in the TBT.
Still true.
And there's no such thing as an announcer's jinx when a guy like him is at the line. I'd argue he's in an open gym shooting free throws by himself, making 50 plus in a row each and every time.
Bikes tries to force the contact. Tark rebounds. Tark stepped out of bounds.
Now those turnovers you live with if you're the Shell Shock coach, Juan Dixon. That's an aggressive turnover, a drive to the basket, looking to find a shooter in the corner. While in transition, the ball is popping, moving, driving. That's a good aggressive turnover. Not many that we saw like that in that first round game for Shell Shock.
Fortunately for Shell Shock, it was also a dead ball turnover, whereas Red Rose Thunder scored 19 off of turnovers on Friday. Smith blocked. Xavier Green. Keeps it himself on the pick and roll and converts.
And that's a testament to Diamond Stone and his shooting ability early on and scoring threats so far in this game, where the defenders guarding him are so concerned with getting back to him to shoot that open shot that they left Xavier Green for a wide open layup.
Bike step back. House tracks it down. Parham open. Stone. He's unconscious.
And that's a big time. No, no, no. Yes. Shot for Diamond Stone. We could hear the coaching staff yelling, move the ball. And Diamond Stone did not care, as Shell Shock has all the momentum, up 16 with just over 5 minutes left in the first half.
Here comes Mo Watson back into the game. Does Red Rose Thunder need a timeout, or you're playing this out?
It's a great question. At this point, I absolutely think they need a timeout. Does that mean they're going to call one? No, it's all going to start on the defensive end. They have to get stops. Offensively, they're fine. 23 points. You know, yeah, they've gone a little cold, and that's aided to this run for Shell Shock. But it's all about this end, and they start getting stops. This game can change a little bit.
Blocking foul, no, offensive foul. Kendall Ridley overrules Garrett Jones, calls it offensive.
And the Red Rose Thunder defender was camped out in the lane waiting for that. The most unselfish play in basketball, making sure his feet were outside of the restricted area and taking that charge for a much needed change of possession for Red Rose Thunder.
Greg Parham back after he missed Friday with a sprained ankle. Good low post feed. Kennedy, good patience, and he gets to the stripe.
And Kennedy's so crafty down low, using his body, shot faking, using the other side of the rim to get himself to the free throw line. Greg Parham, as you mentioned, fresh into the game, missing that first outing, a really good addition to this Red Rose Thunder team, as he's able to take some of the stress off of Mo Watson handling the ball, and they can play so well together and off each other.
Parham scored 40 points the last time he played in a TBT game against TakeOver BC, a loss last year.
Did a lot of that in college as well, starting his career at VMI, where he averaged 18 a game. VMI plays an up speed, a high volume shooting offense, and eventually transferred to South Alabama, where he still averaged double digits and has been doing so overseas as well.
Jeff Allen with the rebound off the miss. 15-point game. 5:15 to play first half. $1 million winner take all the basketball tournament. Ronald March back to the stripe. And how about the change of pace, Joey, from Ronald March being often the only option on Friday to now it's the other guys.
Yeah, a welcome surprise if you're Ronald March, knowing that he's been cold a little bit in this game, hasn't been hunting his shots in the same way, but that's a testament to how well this Maryland offense is humming right now, where everybody's getting the touch, everyone's getting the shots, and they aren't relying on Ronald March from beyond the three-point line like they were to stay in the game in that first opportunity.
Mo Watson led TBT in assists per game last year, minimum 3 games. Can't get one there. Shell Shock in white off a 1-point win Friday. Thanks in large part to that guy, Ronald March, 25 in the white. Watson kicks it around. Parham lost it, and an outlet for Gill. March trails. Scoop layup blocked, and a blocking foul to boot.
A blocking foul, a correct call in my eyes there, as he looks like the Red Rose Thunder defender just slid underneath Ronald March as he was attacking the rim there, heading back to a familiar spot, the free throw line for him, where he won TBT's last game for Maryland from the stripe, hitting 2 Elam ending free throws, showing he's got that ice in his veins.
And that was after Love Virginia had a chance to win it themselves on the other end. Ronald March finished that one with 24 points, 7 for 13 from the field. Second year for Shell Shock in the basketball tournament. Lost to the Gutter Cats in the second round in 2023. Did not play last year. Second year for Red Rose Thunder as well. And it's the second round of the basketball tournament in 2025. Needed that. Aiden Davis Howard off the bench.
Such a big jump shot, and all started by Mo Watson, really getting a piece of that paint and the ball movement, the one more pass to find number 15 in red and knock down just a massive three-pointer.
Voiles counters it.
And that is a very positive sight if you are a Maryland alum fan. Voiles going 0 for 4 from 3 in the game, in the first round game, knocks down his first here in the second round.
Picks up the foul on the other end. It's the $1 million winner take all, the basketball tournament. Eric Dewitt, Joey Lane. Joey Lane, former Ohio State captain. Joey, how does Red Rose Thunder claw back?
It all starts on the defensive end, and right now it feels like there's a lot of hoping and praying that Shell Shock misses these shots because they're getting great looks. 50% from 3, 60% from the field. It's all about getting stops. Offensively, Red Rose Thunder is getting fine looks, right? They're getting the free throw line. Mo Watson is doing just about whatever he wants offensively, yet the shots aren't falling. And TBT, like all basketball leagues, is a make or miss league. And right now, Shell Shock is making a lot of shots, not so much on the other end of the court for Red Rose Thunder.
Kai Davis Howard at the free throw line for Red Rose Thunder out of the timeout. Funny connection with Maryland. His dad actually played at Maryland. Maurice Sr., former 32nd overall pick of the Cavs in 1976. Stop and a score. That's how you start it.
It all starts with a stop. Big defensive possession here for Red Rose Thunder.
March. Don't get the stop there. Jeff Allen puts it back.
Everything correct except for the rebound, the hardest part of the defensive stop, and they're going to look back at that one as an important possession, but they do get it back right there, and now it's all back. These last 3 minutes and change, it's an 18-point lead right now for Shell Shock, and for Red Rose Thunder, if you can cut this and get it under 10, what a huge win that would be going into half.
Morcell turnaround, strong. Foul goes the other way. And that's free throws for Red Rose Thunder in the bonus. That helps.
Absolutely, and it's a tough mountain to climb, an 18-point deficit, right? And you got to look at it as taking it possession by possession. Get that stop, secure the rebound, and then try and get the best opportunity on offense, the best look you have. And some free throws with the clock stopped by Marcus Kennedy is a good place to start. Again, the goal in that Red Rose Thunder bench, can we get this under 10 by halftime? Have a little momentum going into that second half.
And you got a guy like Mo Watson who can really get hot.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Mo Watson's the most important player in this game, and you look at Red Rose Thunder as it gets down the stretch. When the game is close, you look back at that point guard play that we've talked about since the tip. It favors Red Rose Thunder, and you know you're going to get a good look when you have the ball in his hand, especially in the Elam ending.
2 missed free throws, though, out of the timeout for Red Rose Thunder. Voiles. Well, two-man game with Gill. Another rebound. Henderson needles through traffic. Brown. Now Kennedy on Allen. 5th year in TBT. Stripped stays Red Rose Thunder.
Great hands by Jeff Allen there. Only played 2 minutes in the first round game for Shell Shock, but it's been such a great boost off the bench so far. His length and athleticism is really causing some problems on both ends of the floor.
Shell Shock 57% right now from the field. Red Rose Thunder at 36%. Shell Shock also 7 for 15 from 3 after it was 7 for 22 the whole game on Friday. Four on the shot clock. Watson in trouble. Brown heaves and hits front rim. Shell Shock ball. Stone with a turnover. Red Rose Thunder can make some noise. Sledge. Brown. Sledge. Oh, yeah.
Great defensive possession and great hands by Marcus Kennedy. And then offensively, as Shell Shock calls a much-needed timeout, a great possession on offense for a great look. And the energy and effort turning sides here as Red Rose Thunder looking to gain some momentum going into halftime.
Shell Shock leads at 48-33. Eric Duick, Joey Lane with you from the James Madison region. Reminder, there are 8 simultaneous regions in the basketball tournament. Joey, your former Ohio State Buckeye players on Carmen's crew got a win.
Made a little interesting down the stretch down in Indianapolis, but my Buckeye brothers ended up taking it home. Keyshawn Woods, special shout out to him, the only one of my teammates playing on Carmen's crew. That Indianapolis regional, a lot like our regional here at James Madison, where one of the favorites, maybe one of the favorites in the whole tournament, the Assembly Ballers, they lost in what was really just a blowout, where they were shocked in front of their fan, in front of what was a packed Hinkle Fieldhouse with full of Hoosiers. Tough one for them. They'll come back stronger, missing the likes of guys like Yogi Ferrell that they've had in years past. So many great games in the tournament, and what makes it so special is any given night, nobody cares what seed you are, nobody cares who you have on your team. Everyone's out to try and win that $1 million prize.
Assembly ball, the Indiana alumni. We've seen some prominent alumni teams like Kentucky, Louisville, Kansas, Kansas State all advance as Diamond Stone headed to the stripe.
Diamond Stone, who's been on fire offensively already with 14 points in this first half. A nice little turnaround fade, which we've seen plenty of time, whether it be collegiately or in his professional career. Defender's not letting him land, and he'll head to the stripe for 2 shots.
Stretching out a little bit. The Shell Shock coaching staff and executives said another team tried to buy Diamond Stone away, but the Maryland Boosters stepped in, said, we need our former McDonald's All-American. But that's what TBT has grown to, Joey. It's not just competitive on the court.
Yeah, everyone at home knows all about NIL and feel like players are being, paid and recruited, and it's not about the school anymore. Diamond Stone said, no, the money, that's great and all, but I want to play in my home colors and play back with some of my teammates for Shell Shock.
Free throws coming up, foul underneath. A little bit shielded there by Diamond Stone, but it looked like a Red Rose Thunder player was pulled down.
It is getting physical here at James Madison University. Both these teams, their identity starts on that defensive end. And you've got guys like Marcus Kennedy, you've got guys like Daryl Morcell. The physicality been ramped up a notch for sure.
And how's this for a great team name? Tavares Sledge was the captain of the TBL Frederick Flying Cows this year. The basketball league, a semi-pro league. They just finished their 2nd season. He has starred for them both years.
Ever since I graduated college, I've turned into a bit of a flying cow in a lot of ways.
I thought you were going to say you always dreamed of playing for the Frederick Flying Cows. March on the back door, puts it home.
Great find by Daryl Morcell, and again, using the aggressiveness of Red Rose Thunder against them there is Ronald March, when the head gets turned, makes a nice back cut for a layup, and Mo Watson uncharacteristically turning it over, asking if it was deflected, which you almost assume when he turns the ball over there was a deflection.
Yeah, he seemed pretty sure there, but Tony Dawkins said no. March. Sledge open on the outlet. Thought about the 3. He does trigger and hit.
How's Tavares Sledge, number 8 in red, only 3 points in their first game. More than doubling his output here in the first half, and a huge triple as we head to the final seconds here.
Big possession. 6. Morcell with 4. Kick out. Extra pass. March. 1. Halftime. Red Rose Thunder was down 20. Cuts it to 14. Headed into half. 52-38. Shell Shock in the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Nearing the start of the second half, Eric Duick, Joey Lane with you from James Madison's region. Joey, we just got our first half stats. Shell Shock up 14. Anything that jumps out to you statistically or visually?
Their shot making at just under 55% has been the difference. And like I alluded to earlier in the broadcast, right, basketball is a make or miss sport. You're either making shots or you're not. And right now, the Maryland Alumni team is making more shots than Red Rose Thunder. And not that that can't change, right? It was a 20-point lead, and now it's only 14 as we start this third quarter. But it's a tough road ahead for the Red Rose Thunder if Maryland alums keep continuing to shoot the ball like they have.
Shell Shock led by 20 with 3:27 to go in the first half, down to a 14-point game. Red Rose Thunder in the red, Shell Shock, the Maryland Alumni, in the white. Both teams their second time in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. First time ever from the James Madison region. Eric Duick, former Ohio State captain Joey Lane. Brown with a quick trigger. Strong offensive board. Doesn't go, but a foul call. Langston Wilson, quick impact to start the half.
And we saw Langston Wilson warming up like his hair was on fire just now during halftime, and rightfully so given the second half starting nod, looking to bring his energy and effort to the table to spark this comeback here for Red Rose Thunder. Great start from number 0 in red.
Doesn't hit the free throw, however. Red Rose Thunder has chipped away, cut this from 20 points to 13 over the last 3.5 minutes. March almost caught that out of bounds. Hoyce doesn't hit. An easy offensive rebound, though. Uncontested for Green. Stone, he takes a lot of tough shots, but that height helps.
And that was the toughest of the night by far. And the Maryland alums, their recipe for success is pretty clear. Keep giving the ball to number 43 in white, Diamond Stone. He is dominating.
Turnover, 3-on-1. No look. March, awkward, but doesn't tip it home. Wilson adjusts and scores.
Just gliding to the rim, Langston Wilson. His energy is palpable here in the first half, and Red Rose Thunder off to a very fine start to this second half.
Tark, bottoms.
How about the guys from Coppin State, the non-Maryland alums? It's Cardacy, it's Tark, bringing something new to this Maryland alumni roster as Tark does get scored on there. They aren't stuffing the stat sheet. Cardacy, yeah, he had 12 points in limited minutes last game, but they've been so impactful in so many different ways for this Maryland team.
Stone blocked. Fortunate to keep possession. Morcell, that's a tough finish. Timeout called, 59-43. Shell Shock's advantage. .30-second timeout. I think Mullen Morrison's asking how they could call timeout when it's Red Rose Thunder ball, but the timeout was called before the ball was inbound.
Yeah, absolutely. And Juan Dixon calling that timeout really to, get that tone set again for this Shell Shock team in what has been maybe a little bit of a slow start for them, despite the last 2 positive possessions with the open 3, the drive and finish by Daryl Morcell, calling that timeout just to really reinvigorate his team and let them know, fellas, this is not going to be easy. The mission stays the same. Don't take your foot off the gas.
I don't know about you, Joey, but every time Diamond Stone has the ball, I feel like it's going up.
He's one of those guys, and yeah, can you blame him? He's on fire. 18 points just minutes into the second half. he's been such a huge part of this shell shock attack, but really not the only part, as they have been able to spread the wealth a little bit. And 60 points on pace for well over 100 here early on in the third quarter.
2 minutes into the third, Red Rose Thunder, second-year TBT team, region championship participants last year in the Cincinnati region. In danger right now, though, in this second round. Watson kicked around underneath. I think that's out of bounds off a shell shock.
Yeah, it was passed off Diamond Stone, who was standing out of bounds, and a tough call to make when there are players flying around everywhere, and the right call made nonetheless, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Red Rose Thunder underneath out of bounds.
A near back court. Kennedy in the middle. Hoist at the shot clock buzzer. March tips, more cell ball. Bodies on the floor. March into traffic. Strong rebound for Langston Wilson. His outlet almost intercepted. Now Christian Brown.
Christian Brown taking it right into the teeth of the defense. 3 Maryland alum defenders back. Can't finish. Whoa, Diamond Stone bailed out there in what seemingly was a travel. Sorry for interrupting you, Eric. Take us back to that.
How does Red Rose Thunder generate some offense here, Joey?
Not with tough contested twos like they've been taking. Put the ball in Mo Watson's hands and let him make the decisions. He's going to find Marcus Kennedy. He's going to find Christian Brown. If you're one of his teammates, you're going to get great looks. You got to trust the process and know that, yes, it's 16 points, but there is so much time left in this game. There is no need to press and play any faster for no good reason.
Here comes Kyle Cardacci. Dwight bikes in for Red Rose Thunder.
And another way that Red Rose Thunder can get some better looks is by inserting Dwight Bikes, number 23 in red, into the game, who really was a huge part of that turning point in the first round matchup where they put the ball in his hand as opposed to Mo Watson. And the game slowed down and the looks got a little bit more uncontested. As he's such a TBT vet and such a great player with his NBA experience, look for him to get going here.
Kennedy, another tough two, but bailed out with the foul.
Same thing we saw in the first half where Diamond Stone in position. Maybe his hands get caught in the cookie jar a bit there, but really credit to Marcus Kennedy. Again, it's that James Harden, that Jalen Brunson, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type move where you're going in and you are expecting the contact to try and get to the line. It's less about trying to make the basket. That's all gravy, but you want those 2 free throws.
Too many wasted trips to the line, though. A lot of splits. You need to be making these if you're Red Rose Thunder.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Marcus Kennedy, who shot it great from the free throw line in their first round matchup. It might be due to the Maryland faithful behind the shell shock bench who are getting loud, smacking the seats, causing some disruption. Feels like we're back at the Xfinity Center.
Morcell. Intercepted. Watson. Keeps himself, doesn't score, but another foul call.
Great play in transition by Mo Watson. First on the defensive end, had the high hands. Darryl Morcell jumping, fading, trying to make a really tough pass that gets deflected and ultimately stolen, and finding Mo Watson to, in transition where he's at his best with his eyes up, head up, looking for his teammates, but decides to take it himself and head to the line.
17 points on Friday in the first round for Watson, and you get the sense, Joey, they're going to need something like that today for a comeback. With that make, he's up to just 5.
Yeah, undoubtedly, right? 5 points, like you said, going for a 6-point here at the free throw line. If Red Rose Thunder is going to win this game, it's going to be a Mo Watson flurry at some point, just because of his impact with the ball in his hands, his shooting ability, and really, as you just saw, his ability to get out in transition.
32-year-old from Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. Second year in the basketball tournament and 6 points in the second round. Now a little token pressure from Sledge. Remember, you don't really have a true point guard out there for the Terps, the Shell Shock alums. That's something to keep an eye on down the stretch. That was a trouble spot in the Elam ending Friday. This team surely has a true point guard in the man with the ball. And he's crafty.
Took the words right out of my mouth. The main difference in this game is the difference of point guards. Shell Shock doesn't have one, frankly put. They don't have a point guard, and on the other end, Mo Watson might just be the best point guard in the whole TBT.
Great tip ahead by Howard. Watson thought about it. Howard, trail three. No, Bike's offensive board. Ooh, he may have had an angle, but he bobbled it. Sledge. Eight on the shot clock. Kennedy, muscles, doesn't finish. Cardace. Little heat check there. Stone. Joey, I know those guys can knock him down. I don't love those shots if you're Shell Shock. I think that's maybe where not having a point guard shows up at times.
Yeah, you could throw the point guard stuff out the window. That's just two not good looks. Doesn't matter if you've got Michael Jordan on your team. Those aren't two good looks there. And Shell Shock has gotten to this 12-point lead by manufacturing really good looks at the basket, whether that be in the paint or from the three-point line. You know, they were 7 for 14, but just one of their last 7 from deep. And really what's happening is they're getting away from their identity and how they got to this lead. And you can attribute that a little bit to Red Rose Thunder and how they've amped up their pressure a bit on defense, but those two shots right there, you live with the one from Cardace, who's been on fire, and that's what he's in the game to do. But Diamond Stone to shoot a catch-and-shoot fadeaway from the corner, it's just not a good shot. Just not a good shot.
Red Rose Thunder in the bonus the rest of the quarter, and a bad turnover on the inbound. That can't happen.
And Mo Watson and Dwight Bikes there, they made that eye contact that you see so often in these out-of-bounds plays. And Dwight Bikes, as they're talking here in half court just off your screen, they are trying to get on the same page in that miscommunication where what you saw was Dwight Bikes expecting a little bit of a touch pass, a lob closer to the rim with the defender to his back, and instead Mo Watson, more of this backdoor pass that he threw, causing the turnover.
Eight regions going on. Eberline drive up big in the Lexington region right now. Gill, 3 tries, now Gill to the line.
And Gill brings something so much different than Diamond Stone when he checks into the game. Just as big of a body, maybe not in stature, but in physicality, plays a lot bigger than his size, and he's banging down low. He's going for offensive rebounds. Much more physical of a presence than Diamond Stone, and showing it right there with a couple offensive rebounds and now going to the line.
Nima Omidvar, the executive director of Shell Shock, really proud that Shell Shock provided LG Gill with his latest professional opportunities in Tokyo. He'd been out of basketball for a couple years before the 23 TBT due to injuries and such, and he performed really well in the 2 games in 23 and has since been playing professionally. Bikes, short, Tark rebound. Fox, quick trigger. Red Rose Thunder hanging around. And a foul called, and that's free throws on the other side of the break. Red Rose Thunder a chance to cut this to 12 in the bonus now in the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. Eberline drive leading Tampa pickup ball 79-58 with a target score of 85 in Lexington. Here at the James Madison region, Eric Dewick, former Ohio State captain Joey Lane, and the Red Rose Thunder an opportunity to cut this to 12.
And it's really hovered at that 14-point number in terms of the lead for Shell Shocked for just about the entirety of this second half. And Tavares Sledge heading to the line now, looking to cut into that as we move closer and closer to that Elam ending. The difference between the teens and single digits cannot be overstated.
It was a 20-point game at the 3:30 mark of the second quarter. Tavares Sledge with 16 points after just 3 in the first round Friday. Red Rose Thunder, the 3 seed, defeated Magic Show 70-59. Now 1 win away from another region final appearance. How does Shell Shock clean it up offensively right now?
You know, they just got to get better looks, and that takes a little bit more patience, right? And as they turn it over right there.
Watson, 2 more off the goaltend. Watson now up to double figures with 10, and it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, Mo Watson coming alive here. No assists and 5 turnovers for him, but his scoring is picking up here as he gets into those double digits. You know, look for Shell Shock here with a lot of their bench in the game to really take their time and nurse this lead a bit here before those starters can get back in.
Tark, step back 3, short. Juan Dixon, Maryland legend, national champion, the head coach for Shell Shock. Tark actually played for him at Coppin State. That's his connection to the team. Scramble for it, Bikes, misses, but a foul called and more free throws.
And the free throw line has been the best friend for this Red Rose Thunder team as they are slowly but surely chipping away via the charity stripe. And as I say that, Daryl Morcell and Ronald March are up and active, getting ready to get back into this game to provide some much needed offensive threat. And as I'm saying that, Diamond Stone in as well. You know, Eric, you alluded to what is kind of the recipe for success for Shell Shock to grow this lead again. It's those 3 that are checking into the game. They've been the best offensively and getting the best looks for the team. Without all 3 of those guys in at the same time, it's been really hard for Maryland to manufacture any sort of good looks at the basket.
So Marcus Kennedy to the stripe. The lead has already been cut in half. A little jawing here. Red Rose Thunder felt that Kennedy was pushed from behind.
And listen, if you're Marcus Kennedy, you got the foul called, right? You're heading to the free throw line. You're about to get this game into single digits for the first time since the first quarter. Lock yourself back into this game. You understand the frustration there as he felt he was pushed in the back, you know, more than significantly by LG Gill, but he misses that first free throw, and you maybe have to attribute that to, you know, losing his head a bit there. Refocus back, understand what you're playing for here and how important this free throw is as Red Rose Thunder continues to climb back into this game.
Marcus Kennedy, Red Rose Thunder co-captain with Mo Watson. Both returners, second year for Red Rose Thunder, and 2 misses for Kennedy. Like you said, Joey, maybe a little rattled after that skirmish, but a turnover. Sledge, the late lob. It stays Red Rose Thunder. Watson shimmies inside. Sledge, second guessed, and that probably impacted the shot.
Yeah, he definitely made it a little tougher on himself with a little second guessing, like you said, and a little bit of a fake pass there as well. Just proves my point that typically that first shot is really sometimes the best shot you're gonna get on a possession.
And Stone throws it right at the feet. Watson's fouled, and that's 2 more free throws.
And Diamond Stone wants a kick ball there, but if you throw the ball as hard as you can off someone's foot without them sticking it out, No kickball there. Red Rose Thunder looking to improve a little bit on their free throw shooting, and they've got the right guy at the line to do it. Mo Watson 3 for 3 tonight.
And the wet spot there, that's been your favorite part of the game so far.
Yeah, let's get the mops out there, fellas. Let's get the mops out there. Let's get that court cleaned up. Do we need 1, 2, 3 guys? That's what I'm always looking to see.
Do you think any of this lack of cohesion is due to the lack of a true point guard to settle things down right now?
Yeah, I don't want to keep beating the no point guard drum, but it's definitely a factor. You know, that calming presence, someone to start the offense, right? You're missing a Melo Trimble. You're missing an Eric Ayala. And, you know, at this point, there's no reason to, if you're shell-shocked, right, there's no complaining. You got to play with the cards you're dealt. And right now, Daryl Morcell has done a fine job, a 10 times better job, some would say, than that first game. Let's get the ball down in the post to Diamond Stone. Diamond Stone has been great decision-making aside from that last possession. And trust those guys that have gotten you here and let the chips fall where they may.
March. Lob!
In what could have been quite the highlight for Red Rose Thunder turns into a bit of a tragedy there. Not only would that have brought the house down here at JMU, cut that lead even more to 6 there with that dunk, and able to set your defense, and still the pressure's on.
Morcell, blocking foul.
Daryl Morcell doing a good job of controlling the possession there, taking it up under the pressure, and understanding how to use the defender's aggressiveness against him to get around him, get to the rim, seek the contact, and go to the free throw line, where Shell Shock has been super successful so far this afternoon.
We discussed in the first half how much Daryl Morcell has evolved offensively since college, but even in college, his former head coach Mark Turgeon said he thought maybe Morcell could be a 500-point scorer. Sure enough, he topped 1,000 in his time at Maryland and almost got up to 1,500 over 5 years when you add in the 5th year at Marquette. Minute 15, third quarter. Now he triggers, doesn't hit. This is a big minute here for both sides. Diamond Stone couldn't corral it. And it's just an out of bounds, no foul called.
I don't know if I've ever seen what I just saw with Diamond Stone wiping his hands on the entirety of Mo Watson's body, but good on him.
Maybe with your own teammate, but not.
I was just briefly mesmerized. It looked like he was being pat down by TSA at an airport, and Mo Watson just had a little chuckle. There's about a foot difference in height there between the two as well.
Stone, you knew that was going up. That is just not a good shot.
And a foul on the rebound there as Langston Wilson appears to be bailed out a bit there. And he'll head to the line for 2 free throws. It's been a bit of a parade to the charity stripe for both teams here towards the end of the half. Yet, Shell Shock still with a 9-point lead. And if you're Juan Dixon, you're sitting there, you don't know whether to be happy or frustrated right now. Frustrated because you could easily be doing a better job of taking care of the ball, and the lead could have grown from 14 to 18 here, but instead you're happy that Red Rose Thunder hasn't quite been able to capitalize on some turnovers and really good looks.
If only Red Rose Thunder could knock a few more down at the line, this could easily be a one-possession ball game. Stone. Hoyce. Red Rose Thunder can hold for one. Watson seems like he has other ideas. He does, and if you're going to go up for it, you might as well get points out of it, and that looks like a likelihood for the Red Rose Thunder.
And the contrast of shot selection right now between the two teams is pretty alarming. And Mo Watson, regardless of how much time was left in the half, if that man is going in transition, you let him go and you trust his decision making, ultimately getting to the free throw line with a great shot fake. On the other end, Diamond Stone, a tough take to the basket, which results in an offensive rebound for Maryland, and eventually another three by number 43 in white. If I'm shell-shocked and the coaching staff, his teammates, you got to tell him, we know you've made a few, big fella, but don't fall in love and settle for those three-pointers, because it hasn't been a ton of success. Only 8 for 25 now after being 7 for 14 for shell-shock. At some point, being the bigger, more physical team, you got to try and get in the paint and get some good looks at the basket.
Watson with 14 now. It's a two-possession game. Some Red Rose Thunder defense chance. 8 on the game clock, third quarter. Fox, spinorama, 2 plus the foul.
Andre Fox with a grown man move to the basket there in the last few seconds of the third quarter, using a great Diamond Stone screen, able to get downhill, spin, and the tough contested two keeps his chin on the rim, right at the basket, able to finish through the contact. A huge play as we head into the fourth quarter.
And not necessarily the likeliest of sources.
And shell-shock will sub in Cardesi here, so Ronald March doesn't pick up another foul, and also so they can set their defense ahead of these last 3 seconds. Look for a screen to get Mo Watson on the run, and maybe a deep three out of it.
He gets it off. No. 66-57 after 3. Shell-shock, the Maryland alums in front. Start of the fourth quarter, $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. Shell Shock, the 2 seed in the white. Red Rose Thunder, the 3 seed in the red. 2 second-year squads. It's the 12th year of the basketball tournament. Second round, James Madison Regent. Joey, the Maryland alums have gone cold.
Yeah, after starting 7 for 14 from 3, they've only made 1 of their last 11, and what looked like was going to be a good look at 3 as a turnover there. They've gone cold, and the main difference being the shot selection. A lot tougher threes being taken now.
Wilson puts it in.
And I know they're down 7, Red Rose Thunder, now after that basket, but it feels like a little bit of danger zone for Maryland where, yeah, they had that and 1 to end the third quarter, but it just feels like Red Rose Thunder is coming all the way back here.
And out of bounds. Back to Red Rose Thunder.
And there's a lot of this ball game to go, and it doesn't mean that Shell Shock can't extend their lead, but right now it feels like it's all Red Rose Thunder, and Mo Watson's starting to heat up, and Langston Wilson's been awesome off the bench, and Tavares Sledge has given you so much. It feels like something's brewing.
Kick ball here. Red Rose Thunder was down 20 with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Lost in the Cincinnati Region Championship last year. Mo Watson, 9 points in the third quarter. Wilson. And a hold, and the ball stays Red Rose Thunder.
And Tavares Sledge has been so incredible this afternoon, and you know, we've harped on it a lot. Only 3 points in that first round game. Now has been the focal point on offense, really, for Red Rose Thunder, with 17 already here in the fourth quarter. His presence has been great on offense, but mostly on the glass, where he's not even getting to have those offensive rebounds. They're fouling him before he can even go up and grab them.
He's Joey Lane, former Ohio State captain. Smith, Wilson, another.
And Red Rose Thunder is just picking apart this Shell Shock defense. The shot quality has always been in favor of Red Rose Thunder all night, and now it is really raising the level of intensity of this game, where Maryland's struggling to get open looks at the basket.
Tark, another turnover. Henderson. Tark rebounds. Former MEAC Defensive Player of the Year under his TBT head coach Juan Dixon at Coppin State. He was the overall Player of the Year too. Cardacci, another Coppin State guy. He can shoot it and shows it. Timeout, Juan Dixon and Shell Shock. The Maryland alums back up 8. It's the $1 million winner-take-all the basketball tournament. Shell Shock lost to the Gutter Cats in the second round in 2023. Didn't play in TBT last year. Added some Coppin State flavor for its TBT head coach Juan Dixon, the former Maryland national champion. And Joey, where would Shell Shock be without the sniper, Kyle Cardesi?
Seems like there's a lot of guys that make a lot of threes, but tonight and this afternoon, he's made so many timely threes, and right there is such a huge, he was hunting his shot the entire possession, finally got enough space to let it fly and knocked it down, and was really, more importantly, as he commits the foul, and Henderson with an incredible floater plus the foul. What Shell Shock was able to do after that bucket was call timeout to get their guys in, but ultimately Red Rose Thunder doesn't really care who's out there on the court right now. They are taking it to Shell Shock and really making this such an eventful fourth quarter.
5 points now for Henderson. He had 11 on Friday in the first round. Nearly an offensive rebound. Stays with Shell Shock.
Looks like they're going to get a foul on that play, and as we know, as we head into the Elam ending, every foul is so important, because once it gets under 4 and we turn that game clock off, if you're in the bonus and you get fouled, it's one shot in the basketball, unless of course it's a shooting foul. And Shell Shock may know that better than anybody else, because they had the one shot in the ball rule that ultimately helped them win the game.
Clock issue with the shot clock. Elam ending first stoppage at or under 4 minutes. You add 8 points to the leading team score. That's your target score. Every game ends on a make.
And what gave us so many incredible finishes in our first 4 games that first day on Friday here in James Madison, as you see the rules on your screen right now, the best finishes in all of sports come at the hands of TBT, and this Shell Shock team knows that all too well, as they won in eventful fashion in their first round game, as there's another foul called on Red Rose Thunder.
Red Rose Thunder has cut its deficit from 20 to 6.
And it hasn't really been with any long run. It's been a consistent long spurt of baskets and stops.
Stone misses. Wilson has been huge. Here he is. Didn't play basketball in high school due to a heart condition. Later reevaluated and cleared before college. Smith had space. Drives, can't convert. Another try, no. Still loose underneath. Watson calls for space. Good off the glass.
As the clock turns to the fourth quarter, that's when Mo Watson becomes so incredibly important, taking his time and getting a great look, as another foul is called on the Red Rose Thunder. Mo Watson taking space and playing just by himself at the top of the key right there, able to get a great look, and he's just getting going at the most important time.
Cardesi in foul trouble with 4 for Shell Shock. Marcus Kennedy 3 for Red Rose Thunder. The former McDonald's All-American, Diamond Stone, fouled by Kennedy. Shell Shock in the bonus already. That was what got Red Rose Thunder back in it in the third quarter. Morcell spins, deuce.
A great finish through contact, as it looked like Red Rose Thunder got away with another foul there. Daryl Morcell, so impressive through contact all afternoon long.
Played his 5th year at Marquette. Wilson. Morcell rebounds. Former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Lost it. And it's out of bounds. Back to Red Rose Thunder. About a minute from the Elam ending. We'll add 8 points to the leading team score. That's your target score.
And this might just be the most important minute of the entire basketball game here. And what is a 6-point lead for Shell Shock could easily be a one-possession game or less, and that's exactly what Red Rose Thunder is going to talk about in this timeout.
Timeout, Malin Morrison, Red Rose Thunder second-year head coach. Her son, Lucas Morrison, 21 years old, the youngest GM in TBT history, and the first mother-son duo. Second round TBT action, back next. Eight regions going on simultaneously. Eberline Drive, a reigning semifinalist, a former runner-up, just advanced to the third round, the region championship in Lexington. One more region championship spot up for grabs here at James Madison. Eric Dueck, former Ohio State captain Joey Lane. His alums, Carmen's crew of Ohio State, have already advanced as well. They'll be in the second round tomorrow. Red Rose Thunder in the red, Shell Shock in the white. It's got to be Mo Watson, right?
It's Mo Watson time, baby. Give that man the ball and get out of the way.
He's got to switch. And he's fouled. Almost lost it. 3 team fouls on Shell Shock.
Great hands by LG Gill, ultimately fouling Mo Watson, who took a little bit of a tough fall, hitting his head on the floor there, giving him some time here before he gets up. Mo Watson is going to have his imprints all over this Elam ending, but before then, if he can cut this lead down a little bit more as he gets those high ball screens, he gets those switches. If you're Malin Morrison and the rest of Red Rose Thunder, you trust number 10 in red with the ball in his hands.
Good scorer, good passer. 17 on Friday. His 9 in the third quarter today is what has Red Rose Thunder back in this ball game. He triggers. Strong. Rebound Wilson, 2 more.
How good has Langston Wilson been, especially in this second half? His effort on the offensive glass has been instrumental in this Red Rose Thunder comeback.
Those hops, impressive.
He can fly.
Seeing why he was in the dunk contest collegiately last year. Tony Dawkins calls the foul. And the bonus, remember, so that's 2 shots for Shell Shock. It's a big foul.
In a game where every possession down the stretch matters so much, and every point ultimately matters even more, with Maryland being in the bonus, like you said, Eric, such a huge advantage down the stretch. And what we're looking at, a photo phenomenal finish.
Interesting, Daryl Morcell coming to have a chat with Mo Smith, who is one of the Shell Shock general managers, a huge name in the DMV area, who helped put together much of this team. Stone now with 19, former 40th overall pick. It's back to 6. Watson maneuvers into traffic. He's out of bounds. Back to Shell Shock.
And Diamond Stone, an engaged Diamond Stone after those 2 free throws with phenomenal defense there, causing that turnover. Mo Watson, uncharacteristically, with his 6th turnover now of the game without any assists.
And Joey, would you like to see Shell Shock take this to 19 on the shot clock, 4 on the game clock, and call timeout?
For me, if I'm coaching, my strategy undoubtedly is if I have the ball, get to the Elam ending as quick as possible. And it looks like Juan Dixon is going to use that exact strategy here.
The only issue is it's the last timeout for the Maryland alums. Just got it. Timeout, Shell Shock. Up 6, target score 81. Every game ends on a make in the $1 million winner-take-all, the basketball tournament. Shell Shock basketball now out of timeouts in the bonus, though. 73-67 its lead. That's critical. Joey referenced the rule earlier. If Shell Shock is fouled on the floor, it is one shot and the basketball. That was a recent amendment to the Elam ending. Seven on the shot clock. No game clock. Morcell. Dwight Bikes, we have not seen much from him today. One of the best players in TBT history. His 8th one. Pocket pass. Bikes. So 2 players touching the ball, but the Shell Shock player out of bounds. So it stays Red Rose possession. Quick inbound. Red Rose can't capitalize. But a takeaway. Wilson jams. There's that dunk contest ability.
And just what we've seen all second half from Langston Wilson, a huge impact with his energy and effort on both ends of the court. A great start to the Elam ending here for Red Rose Thunder, who climb closer and closer to that magic number.
Stone connects.
And Diamond Stone says, I'm going to come right back at you there and get the Shell Shock team 6 points away from advancing.
He just winked at somebody to our right. Watson. Blocking foul. That's 4 team fouls.
And Red Rose Thunder shooting a foul there, but clearly making a pass there. Marcus Kennedy should be underneath out of bounds. Refs are discussing here. A clear pass to Tavares Sledge there as he was coming and ultimately got fouled.
So Kennedy's trying to sell it here at the line. Morcell is telling him to move away.
On the floor is the call, the correct one.
You're right. There's no way that was a shooting foul. He clearly tried to dump it off.
And Red Rose Thunder, obviously you want those free points at the line, but now an opportunity to climb even closer if they're able to hit an open three here.
Bikes. Bodies in. No! Stone lost it. Got to get back on defense. Kennedy. Pretty.
And Coach Juan Dixon imploring his team to slow the ball down, and Andre Fox didn't listen and ultimately resulted in a turnover. Now they will slow it down here with the command of Daryl Morcell as they look to get another shot closer to that Elam ending target score.
First to 81 wins. Morcell dances and jams.
Daryl Morcell just playing with his food there, the hesitation going left for the easy deuce.
Now that is a free throw and the ball.
And Cardace been playing that pressure defense all afternoon, and nothing malicious there. It looked like he actually got tripped by his own teammate into Mo Watson. And now, as we've alluded to numerous times, and the refs get it absolutely correct the first time here, one shot and the basketball and the possession for Red Rose Thunder.
So you could have a 4-point trip here. In theory, you could actually get as many as 5 if you fouled a 3-point shooter, but
in theory, you could get way more than 5. They could get all the way to the target score if they just keep getting fouled.
That's true, too. That was a little nitpicky, Joseph. But you're right.
Just throwing it out there.
Or you could just keep getting...
See, now, if I was coach, you would say, all right, get the fouls over and over and over again. We're going to win this game 1 point at a time.
That's a start. Watson for 3. Offensive rebound. Bikes. Rebound Stone in traffic. Morcell pushes the pace. Cardace's open in the corner, but Morcell keeps and scores.
And a phenomenal decision there by Daryl Morcell not to slow it down. As they had numbers, he had the best shooter in the gym on his right side, knowing no help was coming, was able to take it strong for the easy 2.
Kick ball on Morcell. Shell Shock Executive Director Nima Odmidvar said, I don't know when it's going to be. It might not be this year, but some year we are winning TBT. This is no longer a summer operation. They want to make this a seasonal deal, putting so many more resources into this. Right now, they're trying to do this without a true point guard. No Melo Trimble, 2-time champ and playoff MVP in Russia, sidelined due to knee issues. Eric Ayala, another standout guard, here today, but also out due to a knee injury. Keep winning, you might get those guys back.
And they're 2 points away from advancing here. Yes, they need a stop here on the defensive end, but my expectation is whether it's Daryl Morcell or Diamond Stone, one of those 2 guys are going to have the ball in their hands to make the play to win this game.
Watson slithers baseline. Brown for 3. Morcell's outlets intercepted. Bikes, he's ice cold. No more.
Big triple there from Dwight Bikes to stay in striking distance. It's all on the defensive end for Red Rose Thunder as they got the steal just now. But Maryland's going to have a chance to really set their offense here, get the ball in the hands of the guys they want to get it into, and go from there.
Nearly another turnover. It is. Watson. No! It's a two-possession game, or rather one-possession game for Maryland. Fox can't win it. Loose. Foul called, so that's a free throw in the ball.
And Fox, with a great move to the basket, had Diamond Stone wide open for a lob and a dunk that would have tore the roof off this place, and decided to take it himself. And then LG Gill with a phenomenal look at the basket as well, where it looked like he had bricks on his hands that went off the basket. And instead, Red Rose Thunder will take their time walking to the free throw line. One shot and the ball as they look to inch closer and closer to advancing.
Sledge shot 67% as a captain for the TBL Frederick Flying Cows this year. Nope, it won't be him on the line. Now it's Marcus Kennedy.
Yes, it will be him at the line. The refs are pointing back to Sledge.
Okay, it is Sledge. Again, 67%. Diamond Stone says no, no, no.
Daryl Morcell doing the exact right thing with telling the refs, look, this is who we fouled. Marcus Kennedy has had his struggles from the free throw line today.
Good point.
Uncharacteristically, and it looks like it is Marcus Kennedy, as we first thought, heading to the free throw line here. One shot and the ball.
He just needed a little extra time to think about it. So it's a one-possession game right now, but really, the way you want to look at it, shell shock, a one-possession game from the Elam ending. Red Rose Thunder likely needs 2 trips right now unless they keep getting fouled on the floor. Joey strategy-esque. Timeout.
And it's important to set the table here in the Elam ending. You're exactly right. Shell shock, 2 points away from winning. That means 2 free throws. That means a layup. That means a 3. They are 1 basket away from advancing to the regional final here in James Madison. And on the flip side, Red Rose Thunder needs 5 more points. That could be a 2 and a 3, right? 3 possessions where they get layups and stops on the other end. A much higher and tougher mountain to climb for Red Rose Thunder. But a basket on this possession here makes quite the interesting finish possible. Shell shock just needs 1 bucket, but if they don't get a stop, this game is incredibly interesting.
As talented as Mo Watson is, shell shock has done a good job of making life hard for him. It may have to be somebody else.
Absolutely. It might be somebody else, but that's going to be up to Mo Watson, because at the end of the day, he's going to have the ball in his hands here. They've been getting great looks. It's just a matter of if they can knock one down here as the game rolls down.
Bikes. 3. Well off. Foul. Who's it on? It's on LG Gill.
They're going to get him on the box out there as he completely turned his back to the basket and went right to Tavares Sledge in his chest for the box out. Not making a play at all there, as he's called for the foul and sending Sledge to the free throw line in what is turning into a huge possession.
$6 games to $1 million. Eberline Drive already won today in the Lexington region. Home teams such as Wichita, the Ville of Louisville, La Familia have won. That's a massive miss. We've seen Kansas and Kansas State's alumni advance to the second round. We're already in the second round here. Winner to the region championship. Red Rose Thunder ball in the red. Watson had room. Kennedy bobbles and scores.
Great pass and great finish, putting Red Rose Thunder right where they want to be. A one-shot chance if it's a three-pointer and advancing, but first, they need a stop on this end of the court.
Daryl Morcell accelerates into contact. He wins it! Red Rose just got shell-shocked.
What a move and finish, under control by Daryl Morcell. Takes quite the bump from the Red Rose Thunder defender and creates space to fade away with a floater and win the game, advancing shell shock.
Marcus Kennedy following the refs into the tunnel.
Some of the Red Rose Thunder players not shaking hands with the Shell Shock team as they did follow those refs into the tunnel. We've got no view on that happening right now, but the rest of the players shaking hands in what was such a hard-fought game by both teams. Shell Shock, the better team for the majority of the night, comes out with the win and advances to Tuesday night in that regional final, and they will advance themselves on the bracket here shortly.
Obviously, Joey, we don't have the benefit of replay, but just from your eye in real time, those plays always look a little awkward when someone bobbles it. Did you see anything unnatural?
You know, just because it's awkward doesn't mean it was necessarily a travel, and I did see in that game so many calls that could go either way, and both teams got the benefit of different calls. If it was a travel, would I have said, wow, I can't believe it? No. But to call it like it is all game there and the way it finished, a worthy finisher in Daryl Morcell, who played a phenomenal basketball game this afternoon. No problems with me on that call. Congratulations to the Maryland alum as they advance to the regional final on Tuesday night.
Shell Shock moving that placard into the region championship. Just shell-shocked the Red Rose Thunder. He's Joey Lane, I'm Eric Dewitt. Up next, the second region semifinal, the Raleigh 919 Legends and Next Era Elite.